Hey everyone, welcome to Everything Digital, the show where we bring you everything cool, everything hip, and yes, that's right, everything and everyone who's going digital in your world today, especially right here in Nigeria. And as always, I'm your hostess with the mostest, Faith, History, and Sa, and I will be your digital guide on this series. Now today I've got a fellow presenter, she's one of my girls. She's a presenter, she's a content creator. She presents the show Today on STV, and she's a founder at IWD2020. And today we're going to be talking about International Women's Day and the theme, I am Generation Equality, realizing women's rights and an equal future. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, it's my girl, your girl, Shade Ladipo.
And the crowd goes crazy.
Crazy. Clap, clap, clap. Applause. Hey, girl, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for inviting me. It's such a great time to come.
Yes, great time to have you. And of course, you know, it's International Women's Day coming up, or just passed really. And so it's a whole month. It's the Women's History Month globally. And so, you know, everywhere it's just buzzing. I mean, we women, we're always buzzing anyway, but now we're really buzzing.
And we have a whole month to buzz.
We have a whole month to do it. So we're just not even going quiet. I'm sure the men are like, when is going to be the men's month? Beef. They're beefing us, right?
Beef.
You know, so I was reading, I found on the web, you know, an article on the UN women.org website about how they had this flagship report that came out saying that the progress of the world's women, you know, in 2019, 2020, and in achieving the sustainable development goals depends on promoting equality within families. So that was basically what the whole report hinged on. Promoting gender equality within families, that's what it depends on. So you know how we talk about gender equality in workplace, in you know, in schools, everywhere else, but they say that it has to start on the family level. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's I think that is basic, because what happens is, before you get to school, before you get to government, before you get to work, we're talking about the person who has been brought up. What home was the person brought up in? Right. So this person is going to school, going to work, going to government, going to whatever it is. It's important that the base,
right, your foundation,
the foundation is right. And I don't know whether to say a lot of families don't pay attention to it, but a lot of families just go with the wind. I think
we're going with what we inherited.
Exactly.
So we're not consciously
trying to set our own rules.
Set our own rules with intention. In fact, what happens in a lot of families, I think, my family included, and I'm sure a lot of you are listening right now, you know, and watching, that's happening in your families. When you do try to change something, you hear, but that's not how our mom did it. Yeah. That's not how your father did it. Did you go check where your grandfather did it? And it's like, we constantly bring in what was done.
And that is the problem. You see, what was done then worked then. You're trying to bring it to today. Not like it wouldn't work now, but what's going to happen is you're going to end up bringing up a child who's not going to be able to function in the new world. Because whether you like it or not, please, whoever you are, wherever you are, there is a new world.
There's a new world.
Accept it or don't accept it.
Right.
That is the reality, and it's a fact.
Right.
Women are different than how it was
they used
10
to be.
years ago,
Right.
20 years ago, 30 years ago.
And their
so if you're
roles
not bringing
are
up, if you're not bringing up your boy child and girl child right, they're not going to be able to function in this new world. They're going to be almost like they're
dinosaurs.
Strangers.
They're going to be dinosaurs. So in your mind, what are some of the gender equality or lack of equality issues that still exist or that you've experienced in Nigeria currently?
I mean, I think first of all, it's just first the basic thing, which is just plain equality, which is whatever is good for the goose is good for the gander. That's his job. That's what equality is. You know, people think equality is about elevating someone more than the other person, and the reason why people think that is because a gender has been elevated more than the other person.
So they're like, so they now want to be bigger than us?
Yeah, so they think
we were bigger than you, we were more than you. So that's the fight.
So that is the fight. They think that it's a fight of they want to be they want to increase the genders, the gender parity. They want to increase it to be more than, but that's not the case. The case is, yeah, we know you're at 80%. We don't want to be 90%. We want to just get to 80. Just give us to 80. We want to be able to look at you and have the same opportunities that you are getting. We want to have the same everything. Give us the same playing field. That's all we're asking for. Now, for that to happen, it means that you might have to pay more attention to us.
Right.
Because we've constantly been overlooked. We've constantly been given less to play with. So yes, you might have to pay more attention to us. Doesn't mean that when you do pay attention to us, we're going to surpass you. We might, because at that point you are not. I think
that's a lot of the big fear that is in that Nigerians and men generally have, is you're going to surpass us, and then who am I in this if I'm no longer at 80% and now you're at 80%? Now you could talk to me anyhow.
And again,
you'll be able to talk to me anyhow.
This again stems from the home.
Okay,
it's important because I met a guy yesterday. And he has 3 boys and a girl. And he was so proud of the fact that he doesn't know how to cook. He doesn't enter the kitchen. Him and his boy just sit in the living room, and the girls and the mother make food for him. He was so proud of the fact.
Right.
He's older. He's almost like maybe in his 60s or something. I looked at him and was like, you have stereotyped your children already. This is what they know. And they're going to go into the world, and one is going to be dependent and one's going to be independent. Right. And they're going to wonder why there is a parity. You're going to wonder why your girls will have issues or your boys will have issues. This is what you're already bringing them. So the home, it's important that we understand that that's where the problem and the solution starts.
It was right in the home. Yeah. Let's go into how you grew up, right? Like in your own home, how you grew up. Did you have any of these issues, or was with the genders in your family, were they equal? Did your parents say, hey, you know what? I've got girls, I've got boys. My boys are cooking. My girls are cooking. My boys are washing car. Yeah, well, no, girls go and wash car. Like how did that play out in your family? So
my dad had 4 girls, and we're all much older than my last born, and the last born is a boy. So unfortunately, there was little towards the end. A lot of times, parents of those days, they felt pressure when they didn't have boys.
Right.
So there's this thing of carrying the name on. My father later realized, because his girls have done so well. So he's always like, you know what? I'm just so proud of you girls. I don't even care if you're boy or girl.
Right, because you still are my children.
Exactly.
Whether
but
you
growing
have
up,
new names or not.
Growing up, it wasn't like we didn't get the opportunities. But it was more like we weren't really allowed to do what boys were doing.
Right.
So I was a rough child growing up. I used to like to climb.
Yes, still a rough child.
I'm still very rough. You understand? I like to scratch my leg, pull everything. So I was always they always used to they used to call me Rafi the Ganga.
Rafi the Ganga.
So it was almost like I was an anomaly because I was almost boy-like.
Right, like you weren't girly enough.
Yes.
So your popsy probably looked at you and said, this is my boy. Maybe this is who God is going to bless me with. This is only
No, but it made me feel like, because my sister was a pretty one, calm. When it's time for wedding, they'll pick her for little bridesmaid. They never picked me.
They're like, this Rafi
never
no.
picked me. So it made me feel a little inadequate growing up.
Okay.
Because no one told me, it's okay.
Right,
you can
it's
go
okay
on
to be
play.
the way you are.
No one told me that.
It's like, do you want to play like the boys? Don't play like and be like the boys. You're gonna scar your legs. You're gonna da.
So growing up, I always felt very inadequate somehow, that like I wasn't girly enough. I felt my voice was too deep. Right. I hated my voice. I hated my name. I hated a lot about myself because no one ever told me.
All you needed was
okay.
somebody to just say, it's okay
yeah,
to be you.
You're good. Whatever you're doing, are you
okay.
comfortable? Then just keep on. No one told me that.
All right.
I had to grow up and learn that on my own.
So you've answered my next question, which is like one of the ways that, us here in Nigeria and today's world can really start dealing with this is by having these conversations, and making sure that we're aware in our own families, and making sure that if we see our girl who's a little more tomboyish, encourage that, support her. If you see a boy who likes to cook, he's effeminate, encourage that. Don't necessarily tell them that, it's only girls that cook. Oh, if you like, you will become a woman when you grow up. Hello? What kind of
I think the thing is immediately you see if immediately you want to caution a child for doing something, ask yourself, is it because of their gender? You're asking them not to do it. If that is the reason, if because there could be other reasons. You could say don't play outside because you have asthma,
or you have asthma,
or you understand,
right.
or maybe
but
you can't see properly. Is it because you're a boy or girl? So when if you ask yourself those questions generally, normally, you will hold yourself back when you realize, okay, I'm stereotyping, because that's what stereotypes is, right? And it's
we all do it unconsciously.
It's intentional. It has to be intentional for you to do it purposefully,
right?
Because it's not just about only
paying attention.
Exactly, it's not just about your kids. It's about your nieces, your nephews, about the girls around you, about the boys around you. It is not just about my immediate family. You can't. How do you make a habit of it when it's only just 2 people you're doing it on? Make it a habit by doing it with everybody. So I do it with people in my office. Every time because at Silverbird, there's only one camera woman. First of all, I make sure I celebrate her every time I see her. Then I always make sure that I always ask, guys, only one camera woman. I always
Can we get one more? Can we get a couple more?
And then they're always defending, Shade, women don't want to be behind the camera. We've tried. They tell me, and I've spoken to HR about it. She's like, Shade, we've tried to look for women. They don't like the behind the scenes, and the hours are deadly, blah, blah, blah. So, but I'm making sure I'm pushing the envelope every opportunity I have everywhere.
Right.
So when it's time for my family, it's already second nature for me not to do those kinds of
You and I even had this conversation. Remember when you were saying even in hiring, like on my team, like to make sure, hey, do you have a woman? Like you should have women as well. Don't just focus. You sure did. So she ain't lying. She's not lying. We're going to go to a quick break because we have to come back.
And I see no women in the studio, but okay.
We're here. We're here. But I see what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. And I agree that this is the way forward, is paying attention to your environment, going beyond even the family, and making sure that you're always pushing for women to be included. And I know this is scary for you guys out there, but this is the new world that we live in. We're going to take a quick break. I hope you guys don't leave. We'll be right back. I'm here with Shade Ladipo, and my name is Faith History. We'll be right back. And we're back, guys. I only wish you knew what happens when we are off camera. It's wild here in the studio, but we're here and we're back with the show. Truth serum time. I want to ask Shade some truth or false questions. And I want you to tell me the truth, okay?
Always.
So reach deep.
Always.
All right. Hard copy books or ebooks?
Hard copy.
Hard copy. You still
to
feel?
See, both. Let me not lie. Both. I love both.
Okay.
I can't. Can I? Do I have to really, really choose?
You don't have to choose. Actually, choose.
Soft copy.
Why?
Because I don't like to pack too much when I travel.
See, so even though you like the feeling of the hard copy,
I love hard copy books.
Right.
But like, if I'm going on a trip, let me just go with my iPad and just call it a day.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can just flip right through.
That's it.
Get charged in.
But I love the smell of a book.
Right, and then do you dog ear your pages still?
I don't. No,
you don't do that.
No, I stopped.
Yeah, I do that.
Use a complimentary card.
Right, or a book thing. Okay, bookmarker. Okay, so SUV or a coupe?
SUV.
Yeah.
It's not even Lagos, man. Jeez, it's a hype, man.
Yeah.
You feel like you're above everybody.
At least you can see when somebody's trying to come and hit you. Outdoor jogging or indoor treadmill?
Outdoor jogging, man. What? I jogged. Last month I did 70K.
What?
Everything was outdoor.
Nice.
Everything was outdoor.
Yeah, you're looking real svelte now.
We're trying.
Jogging.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what childhood lesson drives you today?
I've never forget integrity. My father was always so big on that. Growing up, my father used to say, you have nothing else except your name. That's literally all my father used to ring into our ears when we were growing up.
How do you say it? Yoruba?
No, my parents, they never talked to us in Yoruba. No, they speak to us in Yoruba, but they didn't encourage us to speak back. I understand, but I can't save it to save my life. So he just used to always say it, that you literally have nothing else. All you have is your name. And it's stuck with me till date. I'm so proud of my name. I'm so proud of everything I've done because of that. Because I could be much, much richer than I am right now. But I'm not interested in money if it's going to affect my name.
Your name, right. I'll say it in Yoruba. I'll try. Orúkọ ó sàn ju wúrà lọ. I think I think. Okay, I tried. Okay, if I didn't try, you guys you can help. At least I tried.
Yeah, you tried.
Okay, at least they'll give me E for effort. E for effort. Okay. And then as a child, when they asked you, who do you love the most? What was your answer?
I probably said food.
Like who?
Who? I don't know, man. Never.
You didn't send any family members.
No.
You didn't send any.
I wasn't.
Not even your doll. I mean, you were the rough.
I wasn't growing up. I wasn't close to anyone.
Yeah.
I wasn't close to my dad. I wasn't close to my mom. I wasn't close to my sister. Now I'm close to my sister. Now, if you ask me now, it's different. But then I was like,
yeah, you were just in your own world, right?
Food.
And food.
I love food.
Like, just sort you out with the food. Now, here's some spotlight on you. You do so many different things. You founded your own company. You host TV. You've done radio. You've done so many things. Tell us more about you, like all the different things that you do, and which one of them would you say is like your main hustle?
I do everything I love. My hope is that I'm able to do everything that I've always wanted to do in my life. I want to do, and everything. So I've always loved to be in the media. I've always loved talking. So I've done radio, I've done TV. I've always loved things that have to do with women. So I've done gender development, I've done diversity, inclusion in work and business. And then I love travel. So I started my travel company. So, I mean, everything I've always wanted to do. So I can't tell you one is my main hustle.
Right.
I love it.
You're doing them all.
I love it. I'm doing everything I love. Yeah.
And I love that. That
it's not been easy. It's taking me a while.
Right.
And I didn't start everything at the same time.
Okay.
I started
That's
one by
important.
one.
One by one.
Yeah. One
so
by
you
one.
do one by one. You build it up to a certain point. When do you decide that, okay, let me add the next thing? Or does it just happen?
So what I do is I start with one. I put some structure in it. I go to the next one. I put some structure. And then after that, I start to do, every year I focus more time on one than the other. So like 2018 was my gender development year. So I did gender development from 2016 to 2019. But I used 2018 to really focus on it. 2017 was my personal development year. So I used that, and I went on the Mandela Washington Fellowship. 2019 was my media year. So I came back a little bit into media. So I did more of TV. So 2020 is my travel year.
Right.
So I've been
you're about to be on the road.
I'm about to be on the road, So I try to focus without shutting down anything. I try to focus more time. So I'm going to focus on other things, but travel is going to get 70% of my time this year. The other 30% is going to divide in the other parts.
Into the other parts. I like that. I like that as a way to kind of structure out your time while balancing.
Also, one thing I do is I try to make sure everything I do almost work together. So they almost are interlocked.
Right.
So it's a lot of hard work, but that's the only way to keep on doing everything I'm doing.
Right.
So
without
I'm
leaving one to kind of drop out, and
Exactly.
then end up where you're just like, I'm not doing this anymore, or it's failing. So does it ever bother you when people say, hey, you know what? You're very vocal. As a TV or radio presenter, you're very vocal. Why are you so vocal? Does that ever bother you?
It used to.
But aren't you supposed to be vocal? Isn't that part of the job?
So for me, it's not only you're very vocal. They always say things like, you're too brash. You say whatever is on your mind. You don't filter enough.
You're blunt.
Too blunt. I get that conversation every day. Like I would, like 2 days ago, it was an event. I was standing with a very famous comedian. He was like, Shade, if not because you have substance, you're so vocal. You're so, he was telling me he loves it and he hates it. And it was like, you need to find a balance. Everyone always saying that, find a balance. And I listen because I'm not a tree. I'm not stuck in any road. So I always take feedback, and I have been trying to find the balance because I don't like negativity, and most times being vocal means that you probably will be negative, and I like good energy. So I have been talking to myself and saying, how can I find this balance where
you still want to share and you still want to say what's on your mind,
but
and what
without
needs
it
to be
being
said.
too negative or being too controversial. So I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress, but I'm not stubborn. I say, oh no, it's my way or the highway. No. I listen to what people say and I take it.
All right. Back to gender equality or inequality. Have you ever found a situation where you got a job in media or in any other of your pursuits where you are paid a lower fee than a colleague, or someone who was going for the same role, who was male?
Well, first of all, I don't pay attention to what other people do. And I think that's the first rule of life. I mean, do not be concerned about the next
Other
person.
people's money.
It takes away time from your own time that you could be bettering yourself. Looking at someone, oh, yeah, any more than me. Yeah. What does that do for you? Nothing. So I don't notice. What I do notice on my own is I always make sure that I'm not, first of all, as women, we need to stop being scared of talking about money. Men are not scared to talk about money.
Right.
So you see, if a man is earning more, chances are he
asked
negotiated his way into that. And chances are you didn't.
Right.
Sorry. So I have been in situations where I was negotiating with a man and he was a younger guy in the industry and he just didn't negotiate properly because he didn't know how to. And I ended up getting more than him. And he found out and he was like, and I'm like, you just didn't know how to ask for the money you wanted because you didn't think you were worth that amount.
Right.
I thought I was worth that amount, so I negotiated. A lot of women have problem with money, and that is why they don't know how to negotiate. And you can't blame them. They haven't been in the workplace long as men have been. So yes, and then a lot of women
socialization as well, and so the way we socialize our women and our girls is,
it's almost like
don't be a gold digger. Even that word gold digger.
At home it's more take money and go and buy something. Take. No one is telling the woman,
earn.
So you see,
or negotiate.
So we're not.
You could have gotten more if you'd asked. Or if you
growing up, we're not comfortable with talking about money. So you can't automatically just be comfortable. I have friends who call me to help them negotiate because they know that I have no shame, none. My shame died years ago.
My shame died years ago. Like, it's shame that you're carrying around. It's like, my pet died years ago and I never replaced it. My shame died years ago. I never replaced it. So it's dead. Yeah. Dead to me, shame.
So, this is just quickly for women who think they're earning less. If you think you're earning less, then go out and speak to whoever you need to speak to about why you should be earning more.
Right.
Don't compare yourself to anyone. Try not to do that because comparison is just the biggest thief ever. Say, look, based on my own qualifications and maybe industry standards, this is what someone in my position should be earning. And I am giving you what I'm supposed to be giving you, so I should be earning this. That is how you should make your argument. And talk about money. What's the word that will happen? They cannot slap you.
They'll just say no.
They can't even slap you.
Or they'll say not today. Or they'll say tomorrow. Or they'll say next year. Or whatever. But just have the conversation.
Have that conversation. Be bold.
Be bold. All right. Be bold and go pick up some negotiating skills. You can go online, Okay, before you go, we're going to take one quick break. When we come back, I want to hear you plug some of the resources that you feel like women all over the world should have access to. Could be an online resource. Could be an app. Something that you love. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're still here. All right, guys, we are back. I'm still here with the lovely Shade Ladipo, and we are talking about, Women's International Day. We're talking, this is Women's History Month. And we're talking about all things that, empower and pertain to women. So what do you have to plug? Could be a website, an app.
Oh, personal or just what I use?
It could be personal. What you use, something that other women could tap into.
For me, I think, again, I'm going to go to money because I think it's very important, women and money. QuickBooks, I think, is one of my best apps. If you are a woman in business, I think you should have that app on the go. It is a great app because it allows you to see your finances upfront. It allows you to create invoices on the go.
Like somebody tells you, send an invoice.
Exactly.
I'm going to go to the office.
You shouldn't even have that issue. You should not even be giving anybody a figure for a job without an invoice.
Right.
And
or an estimate.
I don't even get it. I don't even understand. Don't do it. So QuickBooks, and then it shows you your revenue, expenditure. You can put that in. It's literally all you need to do for bookkeeping. Almost everything you need. You don't need to have an accountant for QuickBooks. So I think for me, any woman, even a woman in what's it called? Even if you work for somebody, use it to see how much money you're
Your own
spending, because you
expenses,
should be
for your
saving.
budgeting.
You should be budgeting. You should be in charge of finances for your home. Your husband should not be the one telling you, even if you're not earning. You should, if you don't know how much your household is making, you failed. I'm sorry.
Okay. Find out.
sorry.
Oga, how much are we making?
I'm sorry.
You know, because that's part of that's part of your resources. That's a whole nother conversation, Shadi, and you know it.
I know.
Because a lot
Women
of
and
women
money.
don't really go into
Write that
their
down.
own
Women and
homes.
money.
Women
That's
and
another
money. That's a
conversation.
whole nother conversation. Women and money. There's a whole. Yeah, we're gonna do some other work on that. You know, but thank you for the plug. I really appreciate it. So QuickBooks for you guys, and then from us, we've got 12 ways that you can contribute to the equality fight. So check the description in the show notes for the link, and it's going to basically unwomen.org. So go to unwomen.org /news stories, and there's a compilation list. Oh, you got one more?
It's not QuickBooks, it's FreshBooks.
FreshBooks. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So
If I plug somebody else's app.
Right. FreshBooks. Okay. So what's the difference? Why?
I don't know what QuickBooks is. I know FreshBooks.
QuickBooks is also an accounting app.
Oh, okay. It's
that's
FreshBooks
what I
I'm talking
thought.
about.
Okay. QuickBook is also an accounting app.
Oh, okay.
That I've checked out. You know, I feel like it's a little complicated, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll go check it out again.
FreshBooks is so easy to use.
Okay.
Very easy to use. You pay, it's a paid. It's paid.
Okay.
After all, there's a free, but it's paid.
Okay.
But it is very easy. I think it's one of the best apps for accounting and for invoicing online.
On the market. Okay. So FreshBooks. All right. Quick correction. FreshBooks. All right. And that's the show for us today. Yay. Do you want to share any handles or?
Oh yeah, my name on
you?
all my name on all the platforms. Shade Ladipo. Shade with H. It's just, that's my brand, and that's how we're gonna.
That's how it's gonna be. Yeah. Shade, baby.
Yes,
Shade Ladipo.
Queen of Shade.
Queen of Shade. Yeah, you should do something like that. All right, so we have a couple. We just keep coming up with all other ideas on the show. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Shade, for coming on the show. We had a great time. A lot of other talk that was off air, but you guys can listen to the extended version on our podcast series by going to anywhere you get your podcast, and listen to the extended version. But thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you same place, same time next week. So please make sure you tune in to the Everything Digital Show with your girl, Faith History. And that's toodles from me and from Shade. Bye. Bye, guys.
Everything Digital is proudly brought to you by MTN. This is a Faith History production.